What if your last login to your MMO turned into a 200-year coma, and you woke up in the body of the final boss you used to play, in a world that's not a game anymore?
Lufas Maphaahl, Black Wings, level 1000. Everybody on the planet has spent 2 centuries calling her the worst person who ever lived.
And the show, for a thing about a resurrected tyrant, opens like this.
And then the woman in the black wings looks at all of that and says, "Shut up."
A wild last boss appeared. Okay, so here's my thing, Alex. This is a Pokemon titled isekai that has wild and an exclamation point in the name. And the actual show it's pretending to be one thing and quietly doing another thing.
Walk me through it.
Setup is, an MMO called X-Gate Online has a top player who plays as the unofficial final boss. Black Wings, Heaven-Winged Conqueror, the whole deal. He lets the other top players, the 7 heroes, defeat him in a farewell raid, so the game stays playable for everybody else.
Hold on, he loses on purpose, as a courtesy.
On purpose, as a courtesy. And then the in-game goddess offers him a new role. He clicks through it like it's a patch notes pop-up, and he wakes up in the boss's body 200 years later.
Right, and the language he clicked accept on wasn't the game's voice, it was a different voice. The show puts that on screen and dares you to notice.
Yeah, so the rapper is Gender Swap Isekai. Tooltip jokes, "Boobs? They're heavy," is a real line in episode 1. The substance is who's been telling the story of the woman he's now living inside.
Because she's been the villain in the surviving heroes' mouths for 200 years. And what he saw, was a friendly final raid.
12-episode opening core, first of 2 seasons so far. They announced a second one the second the credits rolled. So this season is the setup, the recruit and walk the map season. Let's do it.
Setup arc, episodes 1 and 2. Wake up and masquerade.
He wakes up mid-summon. Some Levitan elves were trying to call a hero and accidentally cracked open Lufas's seal instead. And the first thing that happens is, Lufas has a passive pressure intimidation skill that just fires.
He's flattening the room without meaning to.
Yeah, and the show plays it like a kid driving a forklift. He's coaching himself out loud. "Calm down, my intimidation," while the elves are on the floor.
It tells you the genre register fast. The body has more skills than the driver has hands.
And then the body discovery beat, which is, I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. This is episode 1.
あれ？ルファスになってね。いやいやねえよ。男より可愛い女の子。
That's the show's entire identity in 9 seconds.
And then he goes home. By which I mean, he goes to the Sky Tower, the base he built in the game, and the loyal NPC advisor he tossed in as set dressing has somehow become sentient and has been waiting for him for 200 years.
Her name is Dina. Remember her.
Dina explains the world. 3 of the 7 heroes are alive. The Demon Lord beat them all. The 12 heavenly stars, Lufas's elite subordinates, are scattered, and 2 of them defected to the Demon King.
So he's broke, infamous, and the only honest way to make money is adventurer incognito. The whole season becomes that. Lufas, but with a hood on.
Episode 2. Alex. They head to Svel. Water City. The surviving elf hero Megrez runs it, and a heavenly star is attacking it, assassinating Megrez in Lufas's name, which she's, alive and not asking anyone to do.
Wait, hold on. The heavenly star thinks he's avenging her.
Avenging the version of her his side of the war was told about. Which is, none of these people have met the real Lufas in 200 years. They're all running on a story.
Right, both sides flattened her into a banner.
So she goes to find him. Episode 3. The Rainbow Sheep, Aries.
Important note for the listener. Aries the magical beast defaults to a femboy human form. The show plays it completely straight, and the season is better for it.
Bro, yeah. And the way she proves to him she's actually his master is she doesn't power flex. She fights him hand to hand, and then hugs him. That's the proof.
Watch how the camera holds on the hug, not the fight.
そなたが200年でどこまで成長したかこの身で試してくれる
That's the move.
It's also her thesis. Every Heavenly Star reunion this season is a fight that ends in something only the real Lufas would do. Recognition, not power.
Episode 4. The Devilfolk General, Mars, who you already met, invades Svel personally. That's the cold open guy. The whole ice prison, hellfire, instantaneous phantasmal devil sword rant.
And Lufas no-sells him. 2-word reply. Jordan, you watched another trash isekai last night, didn't you?
I love you. You're wrong. She sends him home, and Mars is the first Devilfolk luminary to actually see the resurrected black-winged conqueror with his own eyes. The other side now has confirmation. The rest of the season is the other side reacting.
Megrez also gives her a wing hider in this episode. Small detail, matters later.
Episode 5 is The Breather. There's a transport golem named Tanaka. There's a hot spring, which the still male-minded Aries refuses to enter, which is funny. And then the road takes them to Lufas's old tomb.
Wait, her own grave?
Her own grave, which has been turned into a tourist village with a difficulty 5 dungeon underneath it. And inside the dungeon, the second Heavenly Star is still on duty after 200 years.
Libra, the combat maid golem, doesn't recognize her, malfunctioning.
And she has an ultimate move called Brachium. Guaranteed hit, ignores all defenses. The show pulls the camera in. It's the season's signature frame.
Watch what the show refuses to cut away from.
俺にとっては
Frame perfect.
Lufas repairs her, Libra reboots, recognizes her, joins the party. That's 3 Heavenly Stars accounted for. Aries, Libra, and a goat we're going to meet in a second.
Episode 7. They head to Gjallarhorn, Cliffside City. The other surviving 7 hero, Merrick, runs it, and it's in the middle of a civil war between the white-winged majority and the mixed-winged underclass.
And Lufas starts dreaming.
Yeah, this is the beat. He has a flashback he didn't write, Lufas's actual childhood, abusive father, sick mother. He wakes up and says, in the show's own words, "We just had a dream of the past." That's when the player goes, oh, there used to be a real person in this body.
Yeah, that's the line. And it's also where the show stops being only comedy. The body remembers.
Same episode, Igo shows up. 3rd Heavenly Star, Goat. Hides behind a moon element privacy barrier and starts having meetings with Aries that Aries is not reporting back.
He's loyal to her. He's also been alone for 200 years and has gotten flexible about methods.
Right. And meanwhile, 2 of the Demon King's 7 luminaries, Venus and Jupiter, arrive to observe Lufas's party. Venus stays quiet. Jupiter goes loud.
Jupiter is the one who casts a dark hex on the city. Both districts hear the same whisper at the same moment. The civil war becomes a riot.
Listen to how the audio is staged for this one.
さあ頼むぜ
おい見ろなんだあれは
殺せ殺せ
Episode 9 is the cleanup. Libra runs down Jupiter. Lufas pulls Merrick aside and tells him plainly the war isn't his to win on his subjects' terms. And Igo, the loyal goat, turns out to have been laying down a berserk hex of his own to amplify the riot. Lufas catches it.
Wait, hold on. He's loyal to her and amplifying the riot.
Both. He's trying to call the surviving 7 heroes for her. He just doesn't know she doesn't want that.
That's where the season pivots. Up to here, it's been a recruit and walk the map show. After episode 9, it's not that anymore.
This is where we stop, Jordan.
Yeah.
Episodes 10, 11, and 12 are the season's actual argument. You watch them. We'll tell you the shape, not the punch.
Shape is, there are 2 conversations the season has been pretending it isn't going to have. One private, one apocalyptic. Both happen back to back.
And the craft choice is that both pivot on what gets said, not what gets swung. The show stages the loudest combat sequence it has, and the emotional weight lives in 2 people in the middle of it, refusing to keep playing their assigned parts.
We can show you 12 seconds of how big it gets, but no farther.
魔人王を名乗るだけはある。魔人王さん強すぎ笑えない。公式ラスボスかっこわらと雑に扱っていたのを全。
By the time the season ends, the question isn't who Lufas is fighting. It's who's been arranging the fight.
And the show doesn't sprint to the answer. It sits in the room.
Alex's parallel protagonist note, briefly. There's also a Japanese high schooler summoned late in the season as the real hero meant to defeat both Lufas and the Demon King. He's level 15 and trains under a wordless sword saint. He is the Season 2 engine, not the Season 1 engine.
Yeah, park him. Watch. Okay, so back to the question we opened with, Alex. What if the legend everyone has spent 2 centuries calling the Tyrant who was justly destroyed was just a friendly final raid told by the side that lost?
The honest answer is that a Pokemon titled isekai about a gender-swapped final boss is not where I expected to find that question. But that's the show. The wrapper is comedy. The substance is who gets to tell the story.
And I'll add, the spectacle is genuinely there. The Brachium frame, the Mars deflate, the Orm trade. The production knows when to slow down for one big moment.
I'd push back a little on the pacing in the middle. Episodes 5 and 6 lean hard on the dungeon tourism gag, and the show is better when it's outside.
Provisional concession. But the Brachium moment lives in that arc. So,
Sure, I'll take the trade.
if you want an isekai that uses its body swap and tooltip gags as cover for a quietly bigger question about who actually wrote the legend everyone's living inside, this is the one. 12 episodes earn the right to point at the real antagonist and not quite name them. And Season 2 is already on the board.
And go watch episodes 10 through 12 yourself. That's the answer the show wants you to find on your own.
All right, take care of each other, watch the show, see you on the next one.